We're on a journey, looking back.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Well, it's Thursday evening. It's about, well, it's 7:30. And I just thought I'd come on and give you an update on how my MRI went, and also the results that I actually got yesterday when the consultant rang me. But I've got absolutely loads that I need to talk to you about tonight. So I think the first thing, I've got a little video clip to insert here. It's just a little message for Ellie, but I'll put that in now and then I'll come back to you in a second.
Thank you so much for my water bottle, Ellie. Really like it. Thank you.
Yeah, he's really, really pleased with it. Yeah, he's gone out tonight and he's took it out with him, so he's definitely going to get quite a lot of use out of it. I felt so sorry for him when he came in that night and his was broke, bless him. But yeah, he's really pleased with that. And the other thing as well that he's absolutely over the moon with, I'm not sure if you might not have seen, but on one of my previous vlogs, we'd ordered him a computer desk for Christmas. And on the 23rd of December, it was allegedly delivered, but it never turned up. So obviously that was like I was quite upset about that, because I mean, Caden didn't know he was getting a desk, but I was hoping it was going to be as a nice surprise for him. But I did tell him on Christmas Day that, you know, it was coming. But now it's in his bedroom and he's got it all set up. You know, I mean, he's still got flowers on the walls and he's still got a purple carpet in his bedroom. But, you know, he's over the moon with his desk, bless him. And, you know, he's such a lovely and grateful kid, you know, just like he really, you know, he does, like, he's just really happy with it, really happy. And it looks so much better, his bedroom. I'll pop a little picture of the desk. I mean, it wasn't a ridiculously expensive one. I think the one we'd initially ordered was £100. And this one I think was 129, so it was a bit more, but Caden said he actually prefers this one to the look of, like, obviously I'd showed him the one that he was supposed to be getting, and he said he actually prefers the look of this one, so it looks like it's worked out well in the end. But he desperately needed it. He was working on just like a kitchen table, and he had like an old computer gaming chair in there that's quite low to the ground, so he kind of been comfy, you know, when he was on his computer and things. But I think for his birthday, which is in April, I think he's gonna get a new chair, so that'll be a lot better. And he's found one that actually matches his desk, like a red and black one. So yeah, so I think that's what he's gonna get for his birthday. But it's just lovely. It's just lovely seeing, you know, just like, it's just nice seeing how happy he is, you know, and he's doing so well keeping it tidy. If you've seen the video where I gutted his room, you'll see how bad it was. But since he's had his desk in, he's literally, I mean, on a night when I go in to check he's like turned his TV and things off, he used to just pass me the like PlayStation controller, because he watches like YouTube and things through his PlayStation, and he'd just pass me the remote and I'd put it on like his like little TV stand thing. But since he's had his desk in there, he insists now. He gets out of bed and he goes and lines it up nicely on, like, so it's in line, you know, with his other one on the desk. And he gets his little headphones and hangs them on the hook on the computer desk. So yeah, hopefully he's going to keep it a bit more tidy as well, so that'll be one less thing to stress about with the mess. The other thing that I wanted to say, I'm going to do a live on Saturday night, but I need your help because I don't know what to to do while I'm live. Got this old comfortable cardigan, but it's got, I don't know if you can see there, big rip in the sleeve, but it's comfy. It keeps me warm. Yeah, so I just don't really know what to do. It's next week is cervical cancer prevention week. So I didn't know whether to just come on and as like, you know, just for a chat with everyone and maybe discuss some like key, you know, things, you know, for awareness, like knowing the symptoms, you know, knowing what would happen if you got a referral, how things, you know, what options of treatments are available and things like that, because I will be concentrating on my Instagram profile next week, probably on like the prevention week. So I didn't know, you know, whether I should do it on here, but that's one option. So I thought we could chat about that and have a look, you know, at statistics and things like that. Or I thought we could do a quiz, which I thought I could do the questions and then maybe type the answers in the comments or something. Or the other thing, which I have a funny feeling most of you are going to choose, is for me to sort out my craft room, little junk room, so to speak. It's absolutely horrendous in there. You can't move in there at the minute because all the things that I took from Caden's room when we sorted it before Christmas to go to the charity shop and his Lego that he was selling is all in there. And on top of that, it was already a mess from when I last was in there doing, I think it was when I was making Ross's birthday card. So that'll be like, and I don't think I cleaned up properly, so it is going to be a job and a half. Probably not, it's not going to be a 6-hour job like Caden's room, but it's probably going to take me a couple of hours. Ross will be about, so what I'll do is I'll get him, because I'm thinking of maybe rearranging it. So if he's about, I'll obviously get him to move the furniture and things like that. So it won't be too much like physical work for me really, because most of it's just sorting through things and putting things away. But I thought that might be quite good fun to do that. But if anybody's got any other suggestions or ideas, please put them in the comments. And you know, I'm open to any idea, well, within reason. Open to ideas. So yeah, just put it in the comments. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. I haven't really been anywhere or anything this week. To be honest, I've been dodging going out as, a minute. It's nearly cold. I've been dodging going out really, just because everybody I seem to speak to is either testing positive or knows someone who is, and I don't really, I just think if I don't need to, then, you know, there's no point risking it really. I mean, I had my booster last week, but I think, is it supposed to take 2 weeks to get into your system, is it? I think it's about that. Yeah, so I haven't really been anywhere really this week. Like I say, I've just been dodging going out as little as I need to really. The other thing I was going to say about sorting out that little room, I'll put a picture in up here somewhere, hopefully. I'll put a picture of what it looks like now, just to give you an idea. But hopefully, obviously, unless the only way would be if it got to Saturday and I wasn't feeling obviously well enough to do it, then I'd maybe have to think about something else to do instead. But I'm planning on, I've been getting quite a bit of pain, so I've been like keeping on top of my medication and that, and I'm planning on doing like just having a bit of a rest day tomorrow, so hopefully I should be not too bad on Saturday. I'll probably just have like quite a lazy day and then I'll be full of energy if that's what we decide to do. What else? Oh, the other thing, which is some really good news, me and Ross have been very kindly gifted a few nights break away in a cottage. And that's in a few weeks' time, so that's just in the Lake District. So obviously I'm gonna be doing a lot more vlogging than I did last time. I'm gonna get quite a bit this time, but so I'll be taking you along with us for that. But that's in a couple of weeks, so I'll keep you updated on that. And I think really, like you say, apart from a couple of people have been asking about the cream that I use for my back and my stomach and things. This is the cream it is. I'll see if I can find a link on Amazon, because it was actually bought as a gift, and that was from Amazon. But I'll see if I can find a link and pop one in. If not, I'll just put the make of it and the name so you can search it. But it is really good. I mean, you only need to use a small amount, but you can see there, like, I use it a couple of times a day, and it does work. I do really like it. And the other thing as well that I was just gonna say was I had some Christmas money left from my mum and dad, so I bought myself just like a couple of bits. And one of the things I bought, I was after a really good moisturiser, and I'd read before about this this one. It's the Weleda Skin Food. It just says rich intensive skincare, organic ingredients, certified natural skincare. But apparently, when I was looking into like a good moisturiser, it was saying that like professional makeup artists and things use this, and they swear by it. So it did have like quite good reviews, and touch wood, since I've been using it, my skin has felt a lot less dry. So yeah, that was just in case anybody, had issues with dry skin, and there were, because I've tried so many things, but obviously I've got a nice hand and body lotion, but it was just for my face, so yeah, I got that. And I think the last thing is probably this MRI. So, well, if you're new here, basically, I have got stage 4 cervical cancer. I've got 2 known existing tumours. And when I had my most recent scan in December, there was quite a lot of fluid in my uterus and my bowel. So they were questioning whether there was a tumour in my uterus and bowel. So they sent me for an MRI scan, which I'd been waiting 4 weeks for, which was supposed to be an urgent scan, but it took 4 weeks. Anyway, so I had that on Monday. So, anyway, Monday came. I wasn't too concerned. Obviously, since I was originally diagnosed in 2015, I've had a lot of scans, so they don't generally bother me. I don't really like, because I have to have the contrast dye, I don't really like the cannula part of it, but the actual scans I don't really mind. I think you do find sometimes though that it gives you a bit of a realisation that as much as you've got everybody around you to support you, when you're in that scanning machine and you're in that room on your own, it's just kind of a realisation that you are actually on your own. You know, it's you that this is happening to, and it's just a bit mind-blowing at times, that I find sometimes. But like I said, I wasn't too bothered. Anyway, we got there. My appointment was 6:15. We got there about 7 minutes past. Went in, obviously gave my name, sat down. I asked them what the situation is, because like Ross normally comes with me, but I know like with the cases increasing and everything, I know they've stopped visiting again. But they said Ross was fine to stay, so that was nice. So at least I wasn't like sat waiting on my own. Anyway, after we'd sat down, a lady came in about 3 minutes after us. She went over at the desk. Now, I wasn't earwigging, but we were sat next to the desk. Anyway, she'd said that she had an appointment for tonight. Anyway, the lady behind the desk checked and she said, oh no, your appointment's tomorrow. So obviously the lady wasn't very happy. She'd travelled, I don't know where she'd travelled from, but she'd obviously travelled to get there, paid to park. And they were now saying her appointment wasn't till tomorrow. And anyway, so the woman was obviously not very happy, and she said, oh, I'll ring through to the scanner room and see what they can do. So she rang through to the scans, and they said, oh yeah, she's fine to come through, but she might have a bit of a wait because we've got a couple of people like that have got appointments. So she was like, oh yeah, that's fine then. And that was that, and she went and sat down. Anyway, about 2 minutes later, we got her, we got called through, me and this lady. So I went through and sat in the waiting room, and one of the radiologists took this lady into like a little side room. Oh, excuse me, I've got a really itchy nose. Yeah, and so this woman went in this little side room, and I thought, oh, maybe he's just going to explain to her, like... Anyway, the lady went from there straight into the scan. So we were sat there. It's now probably about... It's only just after 15:15, but... So I just thought, you know, like, we had an appointment time. If her appointment wasn't until tomorrow and she was told that she might have to wait... But then, so it was us that ended up waiting. And I think it was, let me get the times right. I think, yeah, so it was about 7:10 when I eventually went through. And I only went through because Ross actually went and asked one of the radiologists how long it'd be. And she came through and was surprised that I hadn't had my scan. So I don't know how long I'd have been waiting if Ross hadn't have asked, but... Anyway, so I went through. I explained to them about my veins and the cannula, and, you know, it's kind of like a one-shot chance, really. Anyway, luckily she got the cannula in, absolutely no problem, that was fine. Put my headphones on, because if you don't know, when you have an MRI scan, it's really loud. If you want to hear what it's like, if you just search on YouTube MRI sounds, and it'll come up, and it's that loud. You have to wear like you say, ear protection. So I had them on. I had my cannula in, and that was it. The two radiologists went off and the scan started. So I goes in the machine. And I was in a really awkward position because I had my hands across my chest like that. So my elbows were kind of at the side of me, but there was metal strips along the side. So my elbows are quite bony and knobbly. So they were resting on these metal bits. So after about 10 minutes, they started hurting, but obviously I didn't dare move. Another 10 minutes seemed to go. and obviously, and I've got my mask on as well, so I'm in the scanner, which there's probably, I don't know, from maybe maybe 6 inches, something like that. It feels like you're literally really like close to the roof, and it's, you know, I'm quite claustrophobic anyway, so they're awful anyway. I mean, I close my eyes when I'm in there most of the time, because if I can't see like the way out sort of thing, I get a bit panicky. But anyway, so it seemed like I was in there for an eternity. And then I heard there was like a guy and a lady, radiologist, and I heard the guy saying, like, talking through the headphones, and literally all I could hear was, I said, sorry, I can't hear you. So he repeated himself. I said, I can't hear you, I'm sorry, I can't hear anything. So obviously by this point I was getting myself like into a bit of a panic. And obviously my breathing like now getting a bit more like, yeah, so obviously I was starting to panic a bit, and I was thinking, oh, what if he said I'm going to be in here for another half an hour, or what if I'm supposed to be doing something, I can't hear what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, I ended up pressing the buzzer because I just needed to like take my mask off for a minute. And anyway, they came in, they were really good, and I took my mask off and just like calmed myself down a bit. Anyway, while he was talking to me, he realised that the wire for the headphones had come unattached. Obviously, that was why I couldn't hear a word he was saying. And all he was saying to me was, you're doing absolutely fine, and there's only a couple more minutes left. But yeah, once I'd had a bit of fresh air, I felt okay, and I was back in there for about another 10 minutes. I think all in all, I was actually in the scanning machine for an hour at least, maybe an hour and 5-10 minutes. And that was honestly my worst experience in a scan, I think, because it was so long, and with your mask on as well, it was, anyway, that was that. Obviously came away from there, and then the scanxiety sets in of waiting for the results and what the result's going to be. And anyway, I had an appointment to speak to the consultant on Wednesday, yesterday, but I didn't think she'd ring me because I didn't think she would have the results. Anyway, she rang me. She did have the results. So basically, we still don't know where we're at, but I'm taking these results as good news. So what she said was, obviously there's still fluid in my bowel. She doesn't think that is related to the cancer. She thinks that's related to my actual bowel issues, and from my bowel operation that I had. So there was no tumours or anything in the bowel that they could see. So that was the first bit of good news. The 2 tumours that I've actually got, she said they appeared smaller. So that was good news. And then she said there was no sign of any other cancer anywhere else in my body. So again, brilliant news. And then as regarding my uterus, what she said, so there's quite a lot of blood and fluid in there. They couldn't see an obvious mass, which is good because at least there's nothing big in there then. But there's 2 options really of what she thinks, and it could either be a tumour that's actually blocking my cervix, because apparently it's very common for tumours to regrow where they first started. So to me, I think, well then why wouldn't you have done a hysterectomy? And the reasons they gave me for not doing a hysterectomy at the time were because it had already spread from my pelvic area into my lymph nodes. So I think the reasoning behind it is there's no point us taking all that away and putting you through a major operation because it's already spread outside that area and you're going to have chemotherapy and radiotherapy anyway. But if it's common for the tumours to come back where they first started, then surely it would make sense to just take it anyway. But anyway, so it's quite common for them to come back. So the option is it could be a tumour blocking my cervix, or the option that I'm keeping everything crossed for is that, like with my bowel ended up becoming blocked because of the radiation. It causes scar tissue to like develop and build up, and it ended up blocking my bowel. And what she's hoping is that it's the radiotherapy that has caused scar tissue, and that has sealed my uterus closed, like my cervix closed. Therefore, nothing then would be able to escape from my uterus. Hence why there's stuff in there, because it can't escape. So the options now are, yep, you guessed it, we're back to waiting. They're going to have a multidisciplinary team meeting. She said it'll probably be 2 weeks before she gets back to me, because I think she said somebody's away for a week. And they're going to have a meeting to decide whether they should examine me under general anaesthetic or discuss if there's any other options that they want to go ahead with. They might do another PET scan, which would obviously show up if it is a tumour. I would probably prefer to have another PET scan, and I know it's inducing radiation into my body, but I would probably rather do that than them do a examination and take a biopsy. But we'll obviously wait and see what that comes back with. So in general, I'm taking that as good news, because potentially we were looking at 2 new tumours, one in my uterus and one in my bowel. We're now pretty sure there's nothing else anywhere in my body. These 2 tumours have continued to shrink a little bit, and now there's still a chance that this isn't a tumour in my uterus. So we're taking it as good news until we know any different. So celebration. So yeah, so that's all I've got to update you with on regards my scan. Yeah, like I say, until I hear back from this MDT meeting, we won't know what the next steps are going to be. But yeah, brilliant. So yeah, so I feel a lot better now, and I've literally been spending the last 2 days trying to organise my life. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen the picture that I put up the other day with just all my stuff out, where I was trying to get everything organised. Because I just want to organise myself so that, because I feel like I'm not dedicating enough time to anything. I feel like I'm spreading, Daisy's legs. I feel like I'm spreading my time of doing loads of different things, but not spending quality time doing any of them, if that makes sense. So I'm in the process of getting organised and sorted out. And I don't really think I'll get off here and there'll be something else that I was supposed to tell you as well. If I think of anything else, I'll pop a community post up. But I'm going to be posting now every day on Instagram. So if you want to keep up with me on there as well, I'll put my Instagram name just on the screen. It's just The Fighting Felter, if anyone wants to go and follow me and have a look on there as well. But yeah, I've taken up way too much of your time tonight. And yeah, don't forget to please leave in the comments what I should do for my live. I'm going to do a post anyway and put it on Instagram and on my community post, like, board thing about what I should do on Saturday night. But if I don't speak to you before Saturday night, I will see you on Saturday night. Thank you again to everyone who keeps supporting me, and you know, thanks for watching. And if you're still watching now, thank you so much for sticking with this video, because I know I've gone on a bit. And I will see you all on Saturday, and I hope you're all doing amazingly well. Let me know what you've been up to and how you've been doing as well. I know I've spoke to like quite a few of you anyway, but you know, just let me know how you're doing, and I'll see you Saturday. Take care. Bye.
We're on a journey looking